able to hear Sandy's voice. We're back. Anyway, hello everyone. We're just as usual. We're gonna wait for about a minute before we get started, and we're talking about this topic because it's around SDG 3, which is good health and well-being, and May is actually Healthy Vision Month. I just learned about this being Healthy Vision Month. But anyway, we'll wait for a moment, and if you have any questions as well around this topic of healthy vision, you can also put that in the chat. And, definitely, I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to get Sandy to answer it. So, anyway, we'll wait a moment. Um,
Okay, thank you.
okay. So, one of the things is like whenever we talk about taking care of your eyes, right? It's just an important priority, like eating healthy and doing physical activity, exercise, right? But we do take it for granted, right? And healthy vision can actually help keep you safe each day. And I think until we lose it, we don't realize how important it is. So, so as I was saying, that May is Healthy Vision Month, and you know what? I don't can't remember the last time I had my eyes checked. Maybe 3 years ago when I had to get new glasses, and it's only like when I want to get new glasses, when you only realize something is wrong, then you actually go and get your eyes checked, right? So unlike getting your teeth checked, right? Everyone will know we need to see the dentist every 6 months. Whether you do it or not is another thing, but it's sort of ingrained in our head. You go and see your dentist and get your teeth checked
Right.
every 6 months. So why is it that when we talk about our eyes, which is so important, that we don't realize that we need to check this every month? So shedding some light on this topic, I have Sandy Tan, who's the CEO of Optimax Eye Specialist. I'm sure many of you know the brand, but maybe Sandy, for those who don't know, people outside the country don't know who is Optimax, you can tell us a little bit about the company.
Okay, thank you very much for the. Hello, everybody. I'm Sandy here. So, a bit of a history of Optimax. So, we have actually been in the market for 7, which is since 1995. We started our very, very, very first refractive surgery back then in Ismail. Then we are the very first center that offer refractive surgery, because refractive surgery is a very, very new technology and is only available back then in the US and the
Right.
United Kingdom. So when
Right.
we first obtained this technology, it's called the Prk treatment. So the Prk
Mm-hmm.
treatment is similar to what we are having now today, which is sick for you to make sure that you clear off your imperfect vision so that you don't have to wear
Right.
glasses anymore. Yeah.
Right.
So back then
Okay.
with the PRK technology, yeah, it's different
Okay.
from LASIK because the downtime is much longer. The pain is there, and because technology revolve and we go into LASIK, and after year
Right.
2000 only we came back with the latest technology, which is the relax.
Mm.
Yeah, so we are
Right.
very much in depth in refractive surgery as well as the eye health, the general
Right.
eye
Okay.
health.
Right. And this, so 1995, there's 27 years already that you've been around. And I also know, like when the first few people who actually went for it, and then of course people now go for it, it's just like very regular whenever if they decide to get LASIK, right? But just generally
Correct.
as well. And I'm sure you see it as well. People only come when there is an issue. Like do you have, a large percentage of people who just come and say, I want to get my eyes checked? Do you have that? Or it's only when I'm
I
in trouble?
Yes, usually in the back past few years, in fact, we
Mm.
see a lot of patient that comes in only when they realize that something is wrong with their eye. But
Right.
with this problem, what as a eye specialist, any ophthalmologist in the whole world, we will
Mm.
not be able to revise your vision back to the
Right.
normal vision that you used to have, that you used to enjoy, because there is a problem with your eye already. And when
Right.
there's a problem with your eye, and when only you realize it, we can only maintain that very
Mm.
status of
Mm.
your eye there and then. We couldn't
Okay.
reverse it back to the original healthy eyes, healthy vision that you have.
Right.
So
And
one of the reasons, why we always mention that eye check on an annual basis is very important, so that we
mm.
can actually pre determine whether or not you have a very high pressure on your eye, or whether or not there is other issue, for example, retina problem or glaucoma issue
Right.
with
And I'm
the
sure
eye.
there's a lot more, right? Everybody is on their iPhone, I mean on their phone, right?
Yes,
And then
I
you
believe
you're
so.
getting a lot more of these
Yeah.
issues.
Correct. Actually, we have seen a lot of studies recently
Mm,
from a lot of articles stating that the myopia for the younger generation has increased. The
mm,
percentage of myopia, people are having problem with astigmatism, with short-sightedness, and some long-sightedness. So with this problem, we believe that because of this, also because of these 2 years of COVID, how
right.
we caught COVID-19, right? People are
Right.
actually more into digital. Everybody are on digital, online. You stream,
Mm,
you look into your iPads, your phone, your mobile
mm,
phones. So all this will cause additional, blue
okay.
light and all this to
Okay.
damage the eye. So
Right.
we believe that, I think if they were to do a study these 2 years, I also think that increase of myopia in the younger generation will also have
Right.
increased.
I don't think you need to do a study. I think just by how many percentage only. Like as I was
Correct.
saying, right? Unless you know someone personally who having gone blind, and which I do, right? And I've seen this friend of mine who has regressed and all that. We never seem to take care enough. I said, why do you think this is the case? And I was just saying earlier, like people, it's ingrained. Go and check your teeth twice a year, but eyes, why is that? I mean, is it not taught in schools? Is it not, why is that not in our DNA, so to speak?
Right. Yeah. So I read this is what we have been carrying on. We have been trying to bring up the awareness of eye health. The reason with
Mm,
eye health, because we believe that it is one of the most, actually the very most important organ in our body.
mm,
Without vision, just imagine, close your
right,
eyes and try to walk from your house to the shopping
right,
mall, if you can
right.
ever reach in one piece, you see, without assistance. So this is
Mm,
something that you really have to think through it. Without your vision,
mm,
you really can't get to see anything. And without
right.
seeing anything, a lot of things will be affected, especially your
Yeah,
lifestyle. One
yeah,
of the major change will be your total change of your whole lifestyle, how
yeah.
you actually interact with people, whether or not you can see somebody. So this problem is something that I believe. But in fact, today, I mean, I see that a lot of people are coming in eye check regularly every year
Mm,
to ensure
mm,
that their eye health is at the optimal level, because we
okay.
cannot accept in this generation, in this 21st century, that people are still having issues like
Mm,
blindness when it's actually avoidable, when it's actually
okay.
a lot of things that can be done, even though cataract surgery, refractive surgeries, all these are within our reach days,
Yeah,
because with
yeah.
technology, and we actually improve our services, and we are actually easily accessible as well. So I
Right.
actually believe that people nowadays, with the technology and the education, and people are aware that I
Right.
cannot revise my vision. I need to maintain a good vision. I do my body checkout every year. I go
Mm,
to the dentist every 6 months.
mm.
That I need to get my eye checked every year, and it's at optimal level.
Okay, and just the earlier point, if you, and I'm not promoting this place, but if you've eaten a dining in the dark, it's
Yes,
a scary and interesting experience if you haven't done that,
correct.
right?
Yeah, I think the
Actually,
experience will be like, you really don't know.
so I was with a bunch of friends, and some men there, and they were more terrified than the women, right? And it's not afraid of the dark, but I think the whole prospect of something like this happening. Actually, how young can you start, getting your eyes checked? How young can you start getting your eyes checked?
Actually, with Optimax, we actually have our very own in-house optic. We
Mm,
started pediatric eye checking ago. So with
mm.
pediatric check, we actually can check children as young as 6 months old,
Wow. Okay.
ensure
So
that
so
they have no problem with their vision, their eyeball are looking at the right direction when the
right.
sound. So our optoptic will do the actual test,
Mm.
test the babies and children to ensure that vision.
Okay. And if you have any eye issues, actually, is there a certain age period where it's best that you can address it at a younger age? Does it make a difference?
Yes, because the earlier you detect it, the earlier the better. Because when you are at a younger age, for example, you are at the age of 5, 6, that's when you start to learn. You start to
Mm.
expose to alphabets
Mm.
and learning all the kindergarten. So I think this is when they can actually interact with our optometrists when they are undergoing the test, whether
Right.
or not they can see the alphabet clearly. So a lot of babies, apparently, some parents always think that why are the babies not talking? Sometimes
Mm.
maybe they don't have. They always think that, oh, maybe it's speech therapy. They are late.
Mm.
They just can't express themselves. They can't understand what the adults are talking about. But sometimes maybe it might not be speech therapy. It
Mm.
might be also vision issue where
Right.
they actually cannot see and they cannot understand. They just couldn't communicate with you.
Right.
So bringing a kid as early as 6 months to a year or two to bring to see our doctors will be a very good way to explain whether or not this baby is having a proper vision or
Right.
is really a speech therapy issue. So sometimes it's not
Okay.
just speech therapy. Sometimes it might be related to the eye as well.
Okay. If you have any questions for Sandy, feel free to put it in the chat box. But so interesting, right? People think it's because of a speech therapy, but it's because I cannot see what I'm reading, and that's why I cannot speak.
Correct.
So, um, okay. So when you have kids coming in, and the usual problem is myopia, astigmatism, and the earlier they come, it can actually be addressed the earlier they know about it.
Yes, it will
Okay.
be. Yeah, the optic will
Okay.
give them the proper treatment that they can
Okay.
actually start training at a very young age.
Okay, so this whole thing, I don't know whether in schools, whether it's something that's talked about getting their eyes checked, and are you guys doing anything, also
Yes.
working with schools so that they're aware of getting their eyes checked?
Yes, this is currently what we are doing now. We have
Mm.
our team that goes to schools, goes to even outskirt of KL,
Mm.
outside of Kuala Lumpur, northern region, southern region. We are covering a lot of schools and also bringing a lot of awareness to the
Mm.
children as well as to the parents.
Right. Okay. So I know you're also in what's Kidzania, is it?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, we are also part of Kidzania, where the children gets to experience being checked by an optometrist, or they
Yeah.
can be the person to check the eye of their fellow friends to
Okay.
ensure
Okay.
that they have
So
a good vision.
right. So it could be a future and a future career choice, right? And actually, if you
Yes,
think about it, right, there's so many. There's optometry. I know there's a lot more optometrists. Obviously, you have your opticians and then you have your ophthalmologists and all that. Actually, how in depth can it get? And do we have enough in Malaysia?
I think we do have enough. I mean, there is
Mm,
a
mm,
lot of students coming out. I mean, ophthalmologists that are
mm,
graduating every year, as well as optometrists. So we
mm,
pretty have a good handful of number of them. And so far with Optimax, we have 19
mm.
ophthalmologists, and I think over 30 over optometrists with
Right.
Optimax to date.
Right.
Yeah, covering
If you
our 13 branches.
Okay, so I mean that's with Optimax, but if you talk about generally in the country, would we have enough of
I
these eye
think we
specialists?
do. We do.
We do.
We do.
Okay, so it's
Yes,
not
we
an
do.
issue getting
Yeah.
them, but where
It's not.
where they're located is a problem, right? Because they're mostly in
Yes.
the Klang Valley, and then it's the smaller
Correct.
towns that need them, but they're not there.
Right. Yes. So hence we are now expanding to the smaller towns whereby it's easier for people to reach out
Mm,
to, if they have any eye problem or any eye issue. So we are
mm,
now in the outskirts of southern region. For example, we
mm,
are in Muar, Kluang, Segamat,
mm,
where
mm.
people used to travel all the way to JB, which they need to take at least 2 to 3 hours in order for them to get their eye checked or in
Right,
order to get a cataract surgery. But now it's just within reach.
right. Is cataracts unavoidable? As you get older,
Yes,
it's,
cataract is
that one, okay, that one is unavoidable, huh? All right.
because of the cloudy, imperfect vision of your original lens.
Okay, so that one
Yeah,
you have to literally
you
remove the
have
lens.
to
Okay.
remove it when the time comes.
Okay. All right. What about the level of awareness? Like as I was growing up, I didn't know anything about optometrists and ophthalmologists. So we go to a glass shop, right? We go to the optician, they get your eyes
Yes,
checked and all that, and then you think that that's good enough, but really you need to go more. I mean, it has the level of awareness change that people know that I know if I need my glasses, I go to an optician, but if I need to get
yes,
my eyes checked, I go to an
correct.
optometrist. Do people
Actually, in
know
the
that?
optician, they
Uh,
mainly only check the surface of your eye and
right.
checking the power of your eye. But with
Mm,
Optimax is we check the back of your eye to
right.
ensure that there's no other eye diseases or make sure that there's no, anything
Mm,
with the blood vessel or any bleeding or any tunnel vision that is forming. So this is the difference between optical shop checking and
right.
eye specialist checking.
Right. Okay, now are some people just genetically going to have less than perfect eyes, right? And how much, like if you have numbers, like, and some of it is actually a lot of it is actually avoidable.
Correct. Mainly
Okay,
are avoidable. As
okay,
long as you
so
maintain a regular eye checking, a lot of eye problem are avoidable.
okay, but
Some
although
are
genetic,
inborn, even though
okay,
there's inborn or genetic, there is always a way to rectify it. I
mm-hmm.
see children having cataracts as well.
Really?
Yes, yes, these are genetic. They are born with cataract.
Wow. Okay. Who knew?
Yes,
Okay. So
yes.
some things are
Some,
unavoidable. Some things
correct.
mostly avoidable, right?
It's mostly
Mostly avoidable
avoidable
if you check early. Some things are genetic, but
as long
okay.
as you have a very
Um.
good.
Okay. So I want to ask you, right? Because it is Healthy Vision Month, and we talk about good health and well-being. Are there things that people can do to take care of their eyes in general, right? Is it the right foods? Have lots of
Correct.
carrots. That's what
Right.
we've been told.
Food,
Uh,
healthy diet.
Okay. Right. So,
Yes.
eye exercises, wearing sunglasses out in the sun, these are
Yes.
things that we need
Correct.
to help protect. Okay. Any
Yes.
other tips that you can share with us?
As for young children, we do believe that getting them outdoor as much as you can will be a very good way to
Okay.
avoid them to have astigmatism and short sightedness because long term with short vision, near
Right.
vision contract, you will actually develop and or short
Okay.
sightedness. So the best way to bring your kids outdoor, make sure that they do a lot of activities that
Okay.
bring them and see far instead of just
Okay.
looking near vision. Like you play soccer, you play football. You actually
Okay.
see some vision that is much further than what you are seeing normally. So you actually practice your eye and improve your vision.
Right. And you see, it works out, right? You need to get your exercise anyway. Stop staring at the phone and the laptop. You really
Yes,
go out there, and
and
that
go
that
out
actually, right. Right. So it's just a very natural thing. So if you have any questions, I know I'm not. I'm going to ask Sandy to just sort of close off with any other points that you want to say. But if you have any questions around your eyes and things that I guess misconceptions and all that, maybe you can just let us know some other misconceptions. What are the next steps that people can do when it comes to taking care of their eyes?
right.
Hmm. Any other thoughts, Sandy?
Oh, sorry, I can't
Yeah.
hear you
Yeah.
just now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So I was
so
saying, go ahead.
no, I can't really hear. What was the question
Oh,
again?
so I was
The
saying that,
time?
if people have any questions, they can ask. But if not, are
Sure.
there any thoughts and ideas again on how people can really make sure they take care of their eyes and all that? Just any other
Yes.
thing that you can
Yeah,
think
I
of.
believe
Yeah.
having enough rest is very important, especially
Mm-hmm.
resting of your eye and having putting eye drops. I always put
Mm.
on eye drops, like lubricant eye drops, to ensure that my eye is, fully lubricated and it's not
Mm.
dry, especially after
Mm.
long hours of working with the computer and the laptops and
Right.
try to eat a
Okay.
lot of vegetables. Carrots, have your supplement like fish oil, coconut oil,
Right. Okay.
of a factor that will actually replenish, your eye, the overall eye health.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically it's really just common sense. Of course, 2 years we've been staring at the computer a lot more, and that's why we'll end off here so you don't have to stare so long. But going out there, exercise, eating the right kind of food, just making sure that it's not just close, that you're looking at things up close, but looking at things further. And I think very important, right? Getting your eyes checked regularly at the
Yes,
end of
right.
the day. All right. On that note, thank you very much, Sandy. I know you have to rush off and cook for your kid's birthday party.
Thank
And
you.
again, it is a
Thank
healthy
you very
vision
much,
month. If
Bella.
you if you haven't had your eyes checked, make sure you go to specialists like Optimax and just get your eyes checked. And it's a yearly thing. If you're going to get your teeth checked, you're going to get a body check. Just make sure this is so vital. And like I said earlier on, if you haven't met anyone who's lost their eyesight, which I have, it is a very scary thing. So make sure you do that. So on that note, thank you for your time, Sandy, and hopefully people will take a little bit of action after this. So thanks
Thank
again,
you.
and bye, bye
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Okay.